Hello, I'm Emma. I am possibly already your teacher slash coach, or if you're seeing this for the first time, I'm Emma Lavelle. I worked as an English language teacher, mostly with business English, for I think almost 10 years now, which is quite scary. I'm also a trained life coach, certified life coach. I have a life coaching practice and I work with a company called Time Hackers as well, which goes into companies and helps people to create time freedom. So that's sort of the lens that I bring to my coaching. And I wanted to do a quick video to just explain what we're doing with the Fluid English Upgrade before you go down and read all of the page, just to make it simple. So the first thing that I want to say is that if you're using English as a second language, whether it's in work, it's in your personal life, or it's in preparation for goals that you have, you're amazing, okay? My students over the years, and I have taught people from, I think, more than 27 different cultures and countries, languages, backgrounds, definitely more than 27 backgrounds for sure. And everyone has this thing in common, which is that they often feel embarrassed about their level. They tend to be apologetic, "Oh, please don't laugh at my accent," or "I'm sorry if I make mistakes with the grammar." And what I want to say to you, even if you don't go any further than this, is you are already doing amazingly well. When you use a language as a second language, you have this additional work. You're having to take your past experiences and your past knowledge, and you're needing to sort of convert it and then also take it through this like cultural transition to explain that to other people, and vice versa when you're bringing information in. That does cost a lot of extra energy. And I think it's really, really important to acknowledge that. Some of the things that you also may not have realized is just how much courage it takes to use another language. When we use another language, we need to go through, like, our nervous systems go through a lot of stress because we have this fear of being seen as stupid or being seen as silly, of making mistakes. And unless we go through that and we make those mistakes, that's where we stay. We don't improve. So the very fact that you're watching this, you understand me, it tells me that you have gone through that journey, and that's fantastic. So the idea with the Fluid English Upgrade is really about bringing all my life coaching tools and applying them to English language communication. There is, rather than this like hierarchy of boxes that you need to tick of like, okay, intermediate, I can use this grammar and this grammar, and now I'm upper intermediate, and now I'm advanced, and now I'm C2. Actually, I prefer to think of it as there are these mindset shifts that when we make them, they will allow us to be even more resilient so that we can then focus on how we are communicating. Now, I'm not going to say that nobody notices anything about your accent, that people don't make judgments about your accent, about your vocabulary. Of course they do, but they're also doing that in your first language. So what we want to do is really focus on looking at the English that you already have, and then taking the decision of where do you want to make changes. How important is it to you to neutralize your accent? Do you want to understand the mechanics of how that's working, so that sometimes you can play up your accent a little bit when it's useful, and sometimes you can switch and you can get down to business and you can speak like a native, okay? All these things are possible. It's just choosing this is the focus area and then making that your priority until it's done, and expanding your capacity for failure and your capacity to get out there, start making those imperfect connections, start speaking, whatever it is that you want to do with this language, but really start to work with the language. And I call it your superpower, right? Right now, it doesn't necessarily feel like a superpower. It might feel like something that you're having to exercise. It's something that takes a lot of energy. But instead, we're going to look at, okay, this could be one of my most powerful tools if I learn how to use it. So what we're doing in the Fluid English Upgrade is you have access to my coaching membership, which is designed, it's not designed for people using English as a second language, okay? It's just, I don't speak more slowly. I don't minimize how I'm using my language in there. It's all about the tools that you need to create confidence, to create time freedom, to learn how to set and achieve any goal that you want to do. So you've got like, I think of that as like, that's the big pool, right? So you can be in that environment and you just get to feel like, okay, this is my language, this is my tool, I'm using it. But then there's this bridge, which is also the small private community where you have your fluid English upgrade exercises. And these are little exercises that you can do each day. You can dip in, dip out when you need different resources. You can get support from me, where also your language skill is getting that extra support while you're filling in those gaps. So it really is like, I just see it as an upgrade. And it's, for me, it's a fantastic way to bring together those two different skills. You're definitely getting the best of me because my life coaching skills applied to English language skills. I think this is something very unique, and it helps you to fill in those gaps where maybe you feel like you've got to a certain point and you haven't been able to get beyond. That's because you haven't got the life coaching tools. You're not using them in your language journey. Okay, so super exciting. So all the information is on this page. I'm going to put a little link for you to contact me if you have questions about it. Obviously, if you're already one of my past students or clients, you can just WhatsApp me or however you want to communicate. But yeah, enjoy, have a look, and let me know if you've got questions.